Let me paint you a picture of my night last night, Showdown 58, where invited to the game by a mate. Obviously, away showdown. Haven't been to a game since ruptured my Achilles a few weeks back. Think, okay, I haven't been to a game in a while. I would like to go watch the boys. I haven't, been able to attend, and I think this will be somewhat a competitive showdown. I think it'll be okay, a wet game, but you know what? It won't be so bad. And the night tips off with Miles Bergman getting a great centre clearance, but it going straight into the hands of Fogarty. The perfect centre clearance, the one that we have never really executed this year, and the one time we do it, we kick it the wrong way. But that's besides the point. My night consists of a few beers, sitting on the hill end, in the seats, poncho on, 5 layers of clothing, moon boot getting soaked, sock is completely wet, and I'm sitting there pissing down rain. The rain is blowing straight into the face. The poncho's doing nothing. The residue and the moisture is soaking through, so my clothing is cold. I'm freezing. I had been standing in the rain and the wet all day with my own team's boss, who got a win, and my day was just rain, on crutches, everything. It gets to a point where I'm like, all right, halftime, let's go stand underneath the the stands. Let's try and get a bit dry, a bit warmer. People are stepping on the moon boot. It's a terrible experience. What was the worst part about it was what was happening on the field was actually second in my mind compared to trying to cope with all the coldness. And then when it finally realizes that your team is getting pumped by 98 points in a showdown in a game that's supposed to be the most competitive, that we would have titled internally as our little grand final, it goes to show we failed miserably. It was a miserable day, and I'm not even going to sugarcoat this. I'm sorry to the people that, are pretty positive. I'm normally a pretty positive person, but when it comes to reviewing this game, the tone of the night was set when Miles Bergman did that centre clearance. At quarter time, I was like, wow, Jed McEntee's just kicked a great goal from the pocket. Maybe we're in this. Maybe we're a chance. Maybe we just keep fighting. Find a way. We found a way. Nah, no. 2 points in the second quarter. The Crows somehow kick 5 unanswered goals in the wet, and it's like, how is that even possible? It's a wet game. It is pelting down, bucketing down. The ground was flooded, muddy as hell, and somehow they're scoring 133 points in the wet. Don't give me shit where you say, oh, we didn't wave the white flag, we didn't give up. Boy, oh boy, we put the cue in the rack at halftime, and that was it. Our best player, in my mind, to the point where until we got subbed off, was Lockie Jones. Actually was pretty good in the wet. Kept Fogarty pretty quiet as well, until he got subbed off. Zach Butters was obviously his mercurial best, but a lone survivor, and it's getting to the point now where this football club is digging a big grave, and I don't want him to be in it. I want him to go find what he wants, and look, at the end of the year, I wouldn't be surprised if he says, actually, I might not see out my contract and go get a nice, good, secure deal at the Bulldogs, where I'm surrounded by good players and actually fighting for a top 8 spot. What last night showed me was not just the depth difference on the field with playing calibre. It showed me the lack of trust that this football club has within itself. It showed me that the fans don't deserve anything, that we are simply an investor in the company and nothing else. We are toiled with emotionally, physically soaked in desperation and sadness. Our game plan simply is non-existent. This has been, it's almost the equivalent of a terrible sequel, you know? Why, the point of, it's like the Terminator movies. They should have stopped at 3, but no. They kept continuing on. They kept making more and more and more and more. No, to no prevail. Just a cheap cash grab. And that's what Ken's contract over the last 3 years has been. It's prevailed to nothing. We've had nothing to hold our hat on. Nothing this year has been exciting. It's been a miserable year as a Port Adelaide fan, and that game showed me that the turnaround between the two clubs right now is inexcusable. The way the Crows toiled with us, and they're a fantastic team. Like, the way they play is great to watch. You're scared of them. Like, I was physically scared in that atmosphere. You know, like, at a stoppage, Neil Bullen kicks a goal. Ben Keys kicks a goal. Riley O'Brien snapping goals from the pocket. That's when you know things are going wrong. Everything for that football club is going perfectly right now. I've got not a bad word to say about them because they have done their rebuild to perfection. They've finally lifted the lid. The lid's off for them. For us, it's so sealed tight. The staples in there are super glued in. And the fact is, we won't be opening the jar anytime soon. It's like we've preserved wine for the next 50 years. We've got nothing to hold our hat on. The excitement to build into Josh Carr's era as coach is fizzling out because it's almost like, what's the point of being here? You know, Miles Bergman signs a 2-year contract and now turns to dust. Mitch Georgiades was well held last night. Still has 18 touches and kicks 1 goal too. I look at the back line. Aliir toiled with. We looked so deeply dug into that football ground that we couldn't move. We looked all like Travis Boak's age. We looked all 38 years old. It is a painful experience. It was an embarrassing performance. It was a shocking conclusion to a Ken Hinckley era in showdowns that are, big games, and he fails miserably all the time. I don't understand the media narrative of what he is as a coach. Oh no, we got to farewell Kenny. We got to farewell. What has he done to deserve that? Nothing. I don't understand the media painting a picture. I'm sorry for the fact that I haven't seen it sooner. I know people have tried to call me out on it, and I understand that. I've tried to continuously look at an outlook where things can improve, but with a month to go, I seriously can't see any answers to the questions that we have. And I'll do another video on the changes we need to make, but right now this football club is in a disaster zone, and if we don't get out quickly, we're finished. On the game, like, if you look at what we were smashed in contested possession. We were soft as butter around the contest. Lost the tackles by 35. Every time we got the ball, we just put it on the boot so quickly. We didn't consume time. We didn't look at the way we could have handled things. We were just poor decision making. We were lackluster. We looked like a 10. Just didn't want to be out there. Connor Rosie, no point. I don't know why we risked him in a 98-point drubbing. I felt sorry for him in a way because I feel like this was pressured and probably put pressure on himself to play. I feel for Travis Boak. He just didn't look great in the wet, and that's 2 games in a row he's played in the wet now, and decisions might be made on him in the coming weeks, which scares the living shit out of me. And yeah, I can run through the whole list, but I'm not going to. Jed McEntee kicked 2 goals, which has just saved his spot for the rest of the year, and probably wasn't the worst on ground last night, to many of people's surprises. Only had the 4 touches, but I think half of our list only had 4 touches, to be honest. So, yeah. The Crows can soak this in. They've got records broken, record showdown win, record loss under Ken Hinckley, the biggest showdown win, the biggest showdown loss, the lowest Port Adelaide score in a showdown, the lowest score in a showdown ever, equal to the Crows in 2020. Number of records broken. It's a disgusting, terrible, embarrassing performance, and I never want to see it the light of day again. I could harp on about how depressive this is, and the only win we had yesterday was Never Tear Us Apart winning the hottest 100 Australian songs, and then not even that could get us. All the signs pointed to us winning. The rhino at Monado Zoo, the SA Police horse, Never Tear Us Apart winning. They all chose Port. God, they were wrong. Anyway, that's a review. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the game. I would love to hear them. Constructive feedback. I don't want any personalized insults or anything like that. Constructive criticism on what this club can do and the performance. It was embarrassing. I know it's terrible. I love this club so much. I love this football club more than anything in the world. I live and breathe it. It's why I have a channel. It's everything that revolves around in life, and somehow I sit here and I'm numb, and I just want it to be over. I just want this year to be over. It's been a dragging, emotional record over the year, and yeah, terrible times ahead for the rest of the year, with our month ahead to come as well. So we'll see what happens, but for now, that is all. Thank you so much for watching this review. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the game, and I can't wait to hear all about it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for many more Port Adelaide and AFL content to come your way. Only 100 and a bit subs to go to 6,000, so we'd love to see that hit by the end of the season, and I can't wait to continue on, my beautiful pair friends. All the best, and thank you very much for watching. My name's Anthony, and as always, count the pair.